nights ago, I was on the Loaded Mad podcast and I got asked about right wingers that would fit in Newcastle. And I pointed out one right winger called Brajan Gruda from Mainz in the Bundesliga. The next day, what do you know? Newcastle United are linked with him. I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about him, his strengths, weaknesses, and where he can fit in at Newcastle United. Just very quickly, if you are new here, my name's Antonio Mango and I scout, analyse and break down all the best upcoming talents in world football. So if you wouldn't mind just dropping the like button in, and if you enjoyed this video at the end, make sure you hit that subscribe button. First of all, let's look at the background of Gruda. Well, he was born in Speyer, Germany, but he's also of Albanian descent. He began his career with Speyer before joining Karlsruhe in 2015, and then he moved to Mainz at the age of 14. November 2022 was when he signed his first professional contract, and he was promoted to take part in the first team training in January 2023. And despite having no experience, he played a pivotal part in keeping Mainz in the Bundesliga when he scored and assisted on the final day of the season in a 3-1 win over Wolfsburg to confirm Mainz's survival in the Bundesliga on the last day of the season. In terms of international youth setup, well, he's represented Germany throughout his career from the under-15s all the way up until the under-21s where he is at the moment. Where does he play on a football pitch? Well, he's quite versatile actually, because for Mainz, he's played 20 times as an attacking midfielder, 14 times as a right winger, and he's even played 9 times as a centre forward. That just illustrates his level of intelligence on a football pitch. Gurda is the type of player that will never stop moving. As you can see from his heat map, he continuously works at inside right channel, but he's also got the capabilities of receiving out wide as well. This makes him such a reliable outlet across all phases. But Gurda constantly wants to feel the ball. He's ready to drop deep when needs be and build up play, but he's also ready to attack space. His movement between the lines is very smart and mature. He always aims for the blind side of defenders. This allows him to receive the ball more freely. And he positions himself in a way that provides an easy passing lane for the ball carrier. He is constantly looking to receive the ball to feet, and he's exceptional at finding and making the most of space in advanced areas. For such an inexperienced player, he has tremendous spatial awareness and a great understanding of the rhythm of the game. This enables for him to react quicker than most, finding space, and he scans his surroundings consistently. This allows him to stay one step ahead of opponents, but more critically, aware of where his teammates are. His awareness is one of his greatest strengths, and that's why he's capable of beating multiple opponents on his first touch. His reception, especially in half turns, in tight pockets of space between the lines, is exceptionally good. The way he turns with the ball looks frighteningly effortless. He intelligently uses a directional touch. This helps him evade pressure. This means he's able to use the momentum of the defender against him, often combining a shift of weight or a drop of the shoulder or a feint just to evade pressure. This level of maturity in scanning allows him to be effective in between the lines because he makes reasonable decisions on whether to turn on the ball and drive forwards and be direct, or whether to play a ball around the corner to a teammate. So in essence, he's particularly difficult to defend against because he makes quick and clever movements to receive the ball, and he's capable of doing it at good speed as well. Then once he's in space, he demands a ball, and that's one of the beauties about him. Gurda is really perfecting the art of manipulations and angles with and without the ball. This allows him to be extremely effective in transition moments, but also in the final third. Gruda on the ball is a dream to watch. He possesses superb close control, technique, he's got wonderful balance, his vision is exemplary, and he's innovative. He's an exceptional dribbler and really efficient. And let's start with these numbers. He's sitting in the 99th percentile for take-on attempted per 90 with 8.12. He's sitting in the 98th percentile for successful take-ons per 90 with 3.78. Those numbers are putting him up there with the best dribblers in the world. He's got a wonderful low centre of gravity. He's got wonderful technique. Means he's perfectly balanced, and he moves the ball with his left foot, and therefore he's able to jinx past the players going either way. It's funny because it seems like he's moving slowly, but he's not. He's enticing opponents and committing them into making a challenge. before he makes the use of his change of pace to drop his shoulder and go the opposite way. So he waits for the opportune moment to quickly change his direction, and it completely eliminates his opponent. This allows him to thrive between the lines, but in transition moments. He's got impressive hip flexibility, but he's also got quick feet. This allows him to control his strides while he's carrying the ball. Carries the ball with like an upright posture, quick steps. He makes good and consistent contact with the ball. This allows him to entice his opponents, but it also allows him to drive through space effectively. He's got a good compact frame, and he's got an insane burst of pace over the first few meters. And this allows him to easily evade his defenders. Why he's so good at dribbling is because he manages to quickly readjust his motion or alter his step as soon as the defender gets close to him. This allows him to move either direction. That's not everything. He's got insanely quick feet, coupled with silky ankle and hip flexibility and a phenomenal level of control. One of my favourite aspects about Gruda, he's always on the half turn when he's receiving a pass. He's always looking to take his touch with his back foot, primed and ready to progress the play forwards with his next move. He's extremely ambitious and forward thinking, both with his passing and his dribbling. He's comfortable in tight spaces under pressure because of his incredible close control, his dribbling ability. The combination of balance, speed and strength on the ball is what makes him so effective at beating his opponents. He can also carry the ball with great speed and change his direction with great skill, manipulating the ball impressively to keep it away from opponents. He's also got a rapid shimmy from a standing position, means he beats his opponents and is incredibly difficult to defend against. His close control is outstanding. It entices opponents into a challenge before he jinxes off the opposite direction. And this is why he's so high on shot creating actions and his through balls, because he finds that yard of space to allow him to execute passes. Even though he's not the quickest, he's got a good burst of speed off the first meters, but it's his balance, his agility, his low center of gravity, and his excellent close control, which enables him to evade pressure consistently. His technique when jinxing and past players is the main reason defenders find it so difficult to defend against. He can go both ways, which makes him extremely predictable. He's averaging more successful dribbles per 90 than anybody in the Newcastle United squad. He's averaging 2.5 per 90. The highest in Newcastle squad was 1.9 per 90. Though I've mentioned him playing in the half spaces, he's also an excellent and a real threat when he starts on the wing. This allows him to drift inside and dribble and combine with teammates. Desire to always drive forward is one of his greatest strengths. He's a moments player. He wants to create for his team. But the German loves to move in and around the box, and he's a constant threat with the ball at his feet. His pace, his explosiveness over the first meters, his dribbling along with his low center of gravity enabled him to change pace and direction to take on his defenders. This allows him to create more freely and become an unpredictable threat when he's on the ball. His creativity is reflected in his numbers. He's creating 5.62 shot creating actions per 90. And this was in a team, you've got to remember, that was battling relegation all season. He was a catalyst in everything they'd done when going forward. His ability to dictate and create rhythm for the offensive outlet is phenomenal. So now let's analyse his passing instincts and his creativity and his vision. Well, he's actually got solid, well-rounded passing skills in his locker, and he's a formidable creator from the right half space. The ingenuity in his dribbling is incredible, but can you say the same about his passing? Well, the idea's there, but the execution might not be right on point at the minute. He averages 2.56 key passes per 90 and averages more through balls than any other creative passing. When I talk about creative passing, I mean crossing, switches of play, chip passes. His interpretation of time and space is excellent, and this allows him to receive in space. Therefore, he can turn on the ball and execute a through ball. Gruda has that eye for a killer pass. He's got great vision. He's got mental mapping. He's got a wonderful way to pass. It provides backspin on it. But the thing that I notice about him, the best thing about his game, is his timing of the release. He's extremely composed on the ball, not phased under pressure, which is incredibly rare for a young player of his age. Instead of thrashing at the ball and forcing the ball in areas, he gives himself times for options to show up before making his final decision. But when linking up play in the final third, he shows wonderful poise and elegance, almost caressing the ball to make passes, with a good consistency level of weight of detail on them. But it's his vision that's most impressive. He's extremely good at assessing his teammates in more advanced areas. This allows him to disguise his passes and the time of release of his passes so well that his teammates adopt more dangerous positions, knowing that he's got the ability to find them. But if you analyse his passes closely, what's mostly impressive, he finds the foot of a teammate that is most likely to help them continue to progress the game up the pitch more fluidly. This also helps his teammates evade any pressure, forcing less turnovers. His ability to break lines with passes is impressive. However, he just needs to find a bit more consistency on those longer balls. He often tries to switch the play or look for a ball into space, but again, he just needs to find a little bit more consistency and accuracy. However, Gruda is very versatile in possession. You'll not always see him in central areas. You'll see him quite often on the wing, and this is where he does deliver his crosses. And most of his crosses are chipped crosses. And he does this pretty well because he delivers them into a dangerous area. And you'll often see him putting in swinging crosses from deep, especially when he's on the right-hand side. And he does this reasonably well. But for a player of his inexperience at senior football, he generally shows a good maturity on the ball. He recycles possession from the half spaces really well or out wide. He does well to control the pace of the attack with vertical passes, but he's always looking to provoke and punish the opposition, which is the beauty about him. Well, does he come with any weaknesses? Well, of course he does. I would say the consistency in his passing, especially those final balls, he just needs a bit of refinement in them. And I would like to see more of a goal and assist output from him. He's creating enough chances, so you could say his teammates at Mainz weren't finishing them. But generally, he makes a lot of touches in the penalty area. For that reason, I would like to see him have a more goal output. If he's in the box, which is a good sign, he needs to show more consistency in his finishing. And then finally, I actually see this as a pro and a con because defensively, he's very persistent, he's aggressive, but sometimes because he doesn't understand how to channel his tackles, he often gives away fouls, which is something that is going to have to be coached out of him. So I like his attitude defensively, but he just needs to tune in on how to defend better and more efficiently. But if he was to move to the Premier League or specifically Newcastle, he would offer a good versatility in possession. He can play in the central zones easily and comfortably. He can also play on the touchline as a right winger easily and comfortably. He's technically strong. He has good upper body strength. He's exceptional on the ball and good vision. He's got all the attributes you want in an offensive player. One thing I did forget to mention, he's a wonderful set piece taker. He's technically gifted as a footballer. And this allows him to score free kicks, put in dangerous corners, and also be generally dangerous from set pieces. But I honestly think this would be a tremendous signing for Newcastle United, not only for now, but the future years as well. So there you go, guys. There's the end of the episode, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on another episode. And once again, I just want to say I appreciate your time.